Hey everybody, John Van Dyke here for New Jersey Exposed. Today is Thursday, August 18th, 2022. Time is 10:21 a.m. Jersey time. And let me say it is very pleasant Jersey time. We're at 77 degrees, sunshine, low humidity, and we're going up to the mid-80s. Okay, well, we've got a perfect psychopath story for you. I've been talking about this in the past, that law enforcement attracts a lot of narcissists. There are 3 levels to narcissists, and that is the basic narcissist that we deal with every day, the person that wants you to worry about them all the time. They feel more important than you, but generally speaking, they're not going out and hurting anybody. They're just making everybody around them miserable because they're a pain in the ass. Then you got the sociopath, which is the next level up, and they're a little crazy too. But the worst of them all is the psychopath. The psychopath by day is a hero. At nighttime, the psychopath is a predator. And we have one of these stories of a hero. A police officer, a hero by day, psychopath by night. And he was a sexual predator. Now, this happened while he was still a police officer. He's not a police officer now, but finally it's all caught up to him. So now, if you don't want to listen to me ramble, because I know some of you out there have short attention spans, that if you don't hear somebody yelling at a cop or sticking a camera in a cop's face and cussing them out, you lose interest. I know if you don't see somebody holding a sign saying God bless the veterans, you lose interest. So for those who have short attention spans, just go right to the link in the description. You can read the full story yourself without listening to me. All right, this just came out this morning. This is on the New York Times, but it's all over the internet. Ex-Kansas police officer is charged in a long series of sex crimes. Is anybody out there surprised? Those that are not surprised, raise your hand. I'm not surprised one bit. Okay, so let's find out what this... Well, here's the story right there. Take a good look at it. All right, let's find out what this fine, upstanding, well-trained professional hero who was out protecting and serving the government was up to while he was a police officer. A former Kansas police officer was arrested and charged Wednesday in a series of sex crimes that stretched over several years while he worked for the Hutchinson Police Department, local authorities said. A former officer, Todd W. Allen, 51, of Hutchinson, who was with the department for more than 20 years and resigned in 2018, is facing 9 counts of aggravated sexual battery, 5 counts of rape, 1 count of indecent liberties with a child, 2 counts of kidnapping, 2 counts of sexual battery, and 5 counts of breach of privacy and eavesdropping. Court records show his bond is set at a total of $6 million. They don't want this clown to go anywhere. With each charge set at $250,000, it is unclear if Mr. Allen had a lawyer. At a news conference on Wednesday evening, Chief Jeff Hooper of the Hutchinson Police Department called Mr. Allen a predator, and that 17 cases the department had been investigating were cleared with his arrest. He said that most of the crimes in question took place from 2012 and 2018, and that it was possible that there could be more victims in the city of nearly 40,000, which is about 50 miles northwest of Wichita. He urged any additional victims to come forward. I am appalled and disgusted. What do you mean appalled and disgusted? But you're not surprised, are you? I'm sure when all the dust settles on this, that the writing was on the wall. There was probably complaints put in there and they covered the shit up. I'm appalled and disgusted as somebody who is a suspect in these type of crimes and this type of behavior ever wore the uniform and this badge, and I'm honored to pin on my chest every day. Well, Mr. Hooper, you must be living in a fantasy world, because every day across America there are police officers raping women, stalking women, downloading child porn, trying to have sex with 13-year-olds. This is nothing new. So, Chief Hooper, you need to change your specs or something, because you're behind. You need to get the 411 update here. Chief Chief Hooper, who joined the Hutchinson police force in 2018, said that within 3 weeks of his start date, there was a sexual assault at one of the city's parks. It was believed that it was related to a series of other crimes that had been committed in the area since 2012. The police department had never publicly mentioned the assault, Chief Hooper said, so he quickly held a news conference on November 6, 2018 to alert the public to potential dangers and precautions they could take. After the sexual assault stopped and Mr. Allen, a patrol officer, resigned from the police force. This is just another example how the police do not protect you. They show up after the fact, they take a report, and they go on social media or have a news conference and lecture the community as to what they should do and not do. So anybody thinks that the police out there are protecting you, you are living under a false security. The authorities said that they never closed existing cases, and detectives frequently study patterns to determine if the attacker had acted again. Within the past month, the authorities said they started receiving numerous calls about prowling and window peeping. Mr. Allen was arrested in connection with one of the calls, Chief Hooper said. Detectives were then able to link the calls to the series of crimes that had taken place from 2012 to 2018. Chief Hooper declined to specify what had led the authorities to believe Mr. Allen to be the suspect beyond great police work and follow-up. Chief Hooper declined to specify what led to authorities to believe Mr. Allen to be the suspect beyond great police work and follow-up. Well, as we all know, most bad cops get caught by cameras, so I'm going to go with the camera. And cell phones. They're tracking the cell phone. I am proud of this administration and all the men and women who diligently, they always got to put this disclaimer in there. Always with the disclaimer. I am proud of this administration and all the men and women who diligently work on these cases over the last decade and who today brought Mr. Allen to justice, Chief Hooper said. After taking over the department, Chief Hooper said he worked to change the culture of the force. Oh, so that right there says to me, there's a problem. There's a problem with this department. He worked to change the culture of the force, and that several members of the previous administration have been terminated and others have resigned. He said that he was aiming to make it an accredited law enforcement agency so that we can prove we are elite agency that we say we are. Well, you know what? I'll say this about Chief Hooper. So publicly he's saying, look, we got a problem here. I came in here, I tried to clean the mess up, and so you got a bad police department. Is anybody out there surprised? Anybody surprised? These bad police departments, it starts at the top and it works its way right down to the bottom. Let's see, anything else here? No, that's all they got to say that. So, you got a, let's see where the picture was. I know they had a picture. Hang on here, people. I think there's a picture of this clown. Ah, here it is. Todd Allen. There he is, right there. Take a good look at him. That's what all you bootlickers and blue dick gobblers out there are all out there say, oh, God bless the police. Please protect them. Thank you for protecting and serving us. They have a dangerous job. You should try being in their shoes one day. Well, which shoes am I going to be in? Am I going to be in his shoes? Because he wasn't out protecting anybody, and all his fellow gang members around him, they couldn't even stop it because they don't know. Because as we all know, police do not stop crime. They show up and respond. That's what they do. They don't stop it. They just respond to it. They take that report. And how is that protecting anybody? By taking a report and going on Facebook or social media and asking for the public's help. So anyway, very scary out there. I'm sure there's more that's going to be coming out about this climb. Let's see if there's anything else in this article. No, nothing else there. So very scary. That is what a psychopath looks like. By the daytime, in a normal everyday life, they're out there. You think they're great people, they're heroes. They're taking your kids out to get ice cream. Who the hell knows? They're stopping and buying lemonade. And as soon as they're off the job, they take that uniform off and they're out there raping women, stalking them, downloading child porn, trying to have sex with 13-year-olds.
Come on, man.
But I'm the bad guy because I report it. I talk about it. See, I'm not going to get into it deep, but I had an incident recently where one of those retired heroes had an issue with me, and he tried to make it an issue with my employer, but it's not going to stop me. So, you know, you're not supposed to talk about the bad ones. We're only supposed to talk about the good ones. Unfortunately, I can't find too many good ones. Because the good ones, I don't know, the good ones are unemployed. And the do-nothing good ones stand around and do nothing about it and let it happen. And it's funny, whenever I talk to one of these retired heroes or heroes that are still on the job, they'll say, yeah, there's assholes on the job. Yeah, we know all about them. You know, and it really pisses me off that we got bad cops out there. It's making us look bad. Yeah, well, it may bother you, but they don't do nothing about it. They don't talk about it because they know if they talk about it and get vocal about it, it's going to have ramifications to it. So we have to rely on me and other people like me out there. We have to expose these bad cops. Can't let them hide anywhere, people. Can't let them hide. You got to expose them. You got to stand up to the bootlickers and those blue dick gobblers, swallowers. You got to stand up to them. You got to take these, you know, even if you don't want to put my video up, you can go take the link to the news story and put it up there. And you know, where you can do it is you just go on Facebook to these police departments, and when they put one of their hero stories up there, you just go research the department and see how many officers have been arrested or what screw-ups they did, and you just take the link to that story and put it there. And you know, when the bootlickers out there say, oh, you're all heroes, and you just put the link and say, well, is this one a hero? Of course, they're all going to say, well, you know, every profession has bad apples in it. Unfortunately, in the police professional, nothing happens to them for the most part. They don't lose, they're protected. And when they screw up, it's the taxpayers that pay for it. Unlike a lawyer, a doctor, a plumber, electrician, a teacher, oh, I shouldn't say teacher, anybody who's a professional and has a license, self-employed or whatever, when they screw up, it costs them directly. It's paid out of their insurance, it's paid out of their pocket. In some cases, if it's that bad, they won't be able to get their liability insurance will be so high they won't be able to afford to do it, and they're out of business. Not that, but that doesn't happen in law enforcement, does it? The taxpayers pay the bill. What the town does is quietly settles it out of court. There's a non-disclosure clause in that, and nobody talks about it, and there it goes. So it's up to the citizens to do a records request to get the outcome of the lawsuits. But that's what goes on every day. And but anyway, this video is about a psychopath cop. And you got to ask yourself, how many more of them are out there running around? The stories never end. And finally, I was off Facebook for a month. I'm back in the saddle again. I have posted many links to stories of cops that have been arrested in the past month. So if you want to know anything that's going on, if you don't want to do all the searching like I do, you can just go to my Facebook page, Gunnison Undercover. There's hundreds of stories there, news stories about officers being charged and arrested, folks. It's right there. So if you need a story, go to my Facebook page. It's there. If you want to get a hold of me, NewJerseyExposed@gmail.com. I cannot give you legal advice. If you're having a fight with your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whatever, and you don't know what to do, I can't help you. I can't give you legal advice, okay? All I can tell you is get a lawyer and get a counselor to get some help with your anger issues, okay? All right, I am John Van Dyke for New Jersey Exposed. Till next time, people.